Now, the bar complaint that I'm privy to, and I've got a copy of the whole thing. I posted a lot of it on my X feed a few days ago, but all of it actually, except for identifying information and personal information. But it is very, very well written, and it goes through the professional rules of conduct for attorneys in Georgia, and it's got a complete table of contents where it articulates very clearly which standard she's alleged to have violated and in what way. But you really need to look no further than perjury, because perjury, in addition to being a crime, if you violate your duty of candor to the court, that in and of itself is a disbarable offense. And we don't have to have proof beyond a reasonable doubt in this context. I think the language that the judge put in his order about the odor of mendacity and the questions that he has about the truthfulness of Fani Willis in this case, that could be enough to really cause a big problem for her. But the issue with the bar is it takes so long. This kind of thing is not going to be resolved anytime in the near future. And of course, we're going to have an election before I think any bar complaints could reasonably be resolved. So I agree with Ashley. There are things that can happen, but each thing is limited in scope, and it may take some time to see exactly what kind of repercussions, if any, Fani Willis is going to face for her.
Unless the Attorney General gets involved, in which case things will start moving, and probably pretty quickly, given his power to get search warrants to actually get to the bottom of this. And I would say to the Attorney General, Chris Carr, right? Isn't that the Republican Attorney General there? It's time. There can't be two systems of justice, depending on skin color, depending on your gender, depending on how defensive you get on the stand and how much self-promotion you do. She has gone after, I guarantee you, defendants with less proof than we have against her. Who's going to police the policewoman? She's the chief law enforcement officer for Fulton County. Who's going to hold her to account when she's allegedly committed a felony? It's up to him. Does he have the guts to do it?
Yeah, it is up to him. And there's another thing to consider. Of course, you talked about the state Senate here in Georgia that is investigating all this. It's too late for there to be any change, that would apply this year. But next legislative session, I'm expecting to see some legislation pass the Georgia legislature, probably be signed into law by the governor, that allows for more substantive policing of the police, if you will, or in this case, the chief prosecutor, not only in Fulton County, but anywhere else in the state of Georgia where something like this may happen. Prosecutors, as we know, have immense power, and it is almost unchecked. That's why they can get away with all the things that they do get away with. And I'm not saying that all prosecutors are bad people like this, but there are abuses in the system. They're well documented.
Well, but Phil, I'm sure there are, but we're ignoring the elephant in the room, which is this is a Black woman in a predominantly Black county, and for this white Republican judge to have disqualified her would have been extraordinary, would have been politically risky, and would have greatly upset the crowd that showed up at that International Women's Day celebration of her and treated her like she was Beyonce.
That one as well, and that was a great piece that I saw during Ashley's interview. There's also lots of videos circulating about the stir caused among the churches in Atlanta after Fani Willis made that now famous, church speech, the one that Judge McAfee referenced in his order. That was straight up jury tampering. Those people who were sitting in those pews, that's where the jury comes from. They are the citizens of Fulton County. And so she's literally preaching to the potential jurors in Fulton County. It's conduct that, in my opinion, is just reprehensible. That alone, I think, did not get enough attention from Judge McAfee in his order. Mm-hmm. She should have been disqualified for that alone, not to mention anything else she did in the courtroom, but that speech was reprehensible. A prosecutor should not take the pulpit in a church to stir up public opinion against
and play the race card. That's what she did. She played the race card. The judge saw it too. And yet what we heard from the media in the wake of her surviving, thanks to Judge McAfee's ruling on Friday, spins this whole thing on its head. It says her race and gender were used against her. I'll give you an example. Simone Sanders on MSNBC in SOT 6.
The former president of the United States of America tried to steal an election. The DA, Fani Willis, is seeking to hold them accountable.
Right.
And because she sought that accountability, they, the former president and his little friends, allies, Ashley Merchant, the attorney for one of those individuals, they then tried to distract us with salacious gossip. We all have a duty, I think, to remind people about what this is really about. And frankly, if Fani Willis was a man named Frank, I don't believe that they would have been able to distract us. So it is a little sexist, it's a little racist.
Little sexist, a little racist, and then you have the last panelist jumping in. I'm so happy you said that. And they agreed that this is sexist and racist to be going after Fani Willis in this manner and trying to distract America with, quote, salacious gossip. Maybe you could refresh our memory, Phil, on how we got to that point.
Yeah, well, first off, there's not a racist or sexist bone in Ashley Merchant's body, and the same for Steve Sadow and the other lawyers who I know personally that participated in this. This is not about Willis's race. This is not about her gender. This is about her behavior. This is about her conduct and the choices that she made to funnel a no-bid contract with my taxpayer money to her boyfriend so that he could then carry her all around the globe, spending lavishly on her to enhance her lifestyle and to enhance her political star that she's hoping to continue to rise through all the media appearances and everything else. This is about Fani Willis's behavior, her choices, her decisions that she made. It is not about the color of her skin or her gender. And for her to say so is offensive, and it's offensive not only to me, but to the people that know these lawyers. They are good people, but it also should be offensive to the voters and the citizens of Fulton County who do have a choice to replace her this year. And I hope they do so, because playing the race card the way she did was extremely offensive. It was uncalled for, and it was unlawful. And the judge said so in his order. And the thing that really tears me up the most about this is he said that her speech down there at that church was wrong. He said it was unlawful, but he didn't do anything about it. He exacted no measure of penalty against Fani Willis other than to say, maybe it's time for a gag order. That's the most ridiculous part of this whole thing.
I want to tell you about the Association of Mature American Citizens, or AMAC, an organization dedicated to America's seniors. AMAC stands out today by not only advocating for senior issues, but also by pushing for conservative values that affect us all. If you join, you're not just supporting America's senior citizens, you can become part of a movement defending our freedoms and securing our nation's future. Plus, membership brings you exclusive benefits like discounts on travel, dining, entertainment, and special insurance rates. Regardless of your age, if you're driven to preserve freedom, AMAC welcomes you. Sign up now at amac.us/Megyn. And for a limited time, get a free gift membership for someone who shares your love of our great nation. Don't miss out on this chance to make a difference with AMAC. Join today at amac.us/Megyn and extend the invitation to a friend or family member for free. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.